Good evening, everybody. And if I've done this right, you should be able to hear me. I will hear it from one of my trusty friends in chat here on the Zoom link if I haven't, but everything looks fine. Welcome to another episode of Quest for the Cure, our continuing series raising money for Jesse's journey and Duchenne muscular dystrophy research. As always, I am joined by an incredible cast of characters, and we are going to get to their introductions in just 1 second. Before we start, in case you're not familiar with Duchenne, it's a rare disease that affects 1 in 5,000 kids, usually boys, and there's no cure, which is why we're questing. We're supported by a number of incredible sponsors, and I just want to give them a quick shout out. Legendary Pants is the presenting sponsor for Quest for the Cure. They've been with us since the very beginning, and we're so grateful to them for all of their support. Many of us are wielding Legendary Pants dice of one variety or another. We've been furnished with many sets. So thank you to Legendary Pants. You're going to see some of the donation rewards are from our friends at Talon and Claw, who make the finest wooden D&D and tabletop accessories, including dice vaults and DM screens. They've also begun bringing in some deluxe sets of dice. So do check out their Etsy shop if you would, because you're going to be missing out if you don't. D&D Beyond is the most powerful tool for bringing your digital D&D to life. They've given us the ability to create our characters in D&D Beyond, and we're so grateful to them. They've sponsored us since the very beginning of Jesse's Journey's tabletop and video game charity Squad Up. So thank you to them. And of course, as always, Beetle and Grim joins us, and Dwarven Forge as well. You may be interested in how you can participate in the game. Well, with your donations, you can do some things. For $10, you can give me a reroll, which would be awesome, or you could force me to reroll, so I like less. You can give for $15, you can give the players a reroll. For $25, you can make me do an impersonation or an accent of your choice. To be clear, though, we make no warranty on the quality of any of that, so you get what you pay for, which is going to be bad. For $25, you could also get a minor boon or a bane. It'll be a small bonus to a skill check, like a +1 to an athletics check or something along those lines. At $50, you can get a major boon or a bane, which at the highest level, if I roll 100 on a percentile dice, one of our players will get a critical hit that they can use at a later time. For $75, you can get a beautiful dice vault from Talon and Claw, one of their Council of 7, which will hold 7 of your beautiful dice. At $115, you get a Hex dice vault, which has two seven-piece vaults on either side with space for a mini in between. And for $150 donation, you get a Kraken DM screen, which they will send your way. All right. That being said, that's the business part. Let's get to the fun. Let's introduce everybody. Ed, why don't you go first?
Oh dear. Hi, my name's Ed Greenwood. Years and years and years ago, too many years ago, I created the Forgotten Realms, which is currently the official game setting for the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game. And tonight I'm playing Sauron, Cleric of War.
Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy Lindazora. I'm afflicted with allergies tonight, so I'll be a little sneezy. But tonight I'm playing Shadows Across Rooftops, a Tabaxi Knowledge Cleric.
All right. Emma.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emma, and I am a Toronto-based actor and comedian, and I'm playing Dr. Mordek, who is the self-appointed chief coroner of all the D&D.
It's not a job anybody else has really ever wanted before, so it's probably all yours. Blair.
Fierce.
Hey, I'm Blair, producer on Star Wars at Respawn, and I am playing Grizzle, the only martial class in this group, I think. A little Rune Knight fighter.
Eric.
Hi, everyone. I'm Eric, and I live with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, so thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'm excited to play some D&D, and I will be playing Farkan, the High Elf Wizard.
And tonight we have a special guest joining us all the way from sunny Australia. We have my nemesis, D20. Chris, why don't you introduce yourself and who you're playing?
Hello, I'm Gary's nemesis, Chris. It's a full-time job, it's becoming a career, and it's something that personally I have to thank Ali for helping me in actuating most of this out. Tonight, because there are not enough clerics in this group and Gary's advice was next to useless, I too am playing a cleric. But this one is going to be a deep gnome of the Arcana.
Oh.
Completely useless and will probably die in the opening minutes. Back to you, thinking, Gary.
All right. So when last we met, let me get to my notes here. When last we met, you brave heroes explored a lost temple to Timora, which was hidden inside the lair of a guardian dragon. You overcame the trial of the penitents and eventually met an aspect of the goddess herself. She told you that the Codex Cosmologica had a true and secret power. It served as an atlas of planar gateways from a time before planar travel was as easy as it is today. When the book was destroyed 100 years ago, its effects rippled across time and space, weakening the thin parts between the planes. Bishaba seized on that moment to seek power she was not entitled to possess. That aspect also gave you a scroll that included a hitherto unknown fourth verse of the Song of Timora, which is long considered a prophecy of great importance to her faith, but it was little understood. She told all of our heroes that they should recite the final line in unison when they face her sister's power and their need is great. Your friends Delchandra and Flip suggested that you needed more to understand the origins of this book and its true nature, so they recommended a trip to the library of Candlekeep to learn more, particularly understanding where the book was empowered, because that location may serve as a catalyst for halting Bishaba's growing influence in the vast. Raven's Bluff, as always, is busy with merchants making their way back and forth from the ports. They arrive and depart with precision. You've been summoned by Flip to the berth of a now familiar ship, the Osprey. You see her captain, Raider McAllister, standing on the prow. As he sees five of you approaching his familiar faces, he gives you a bit of a tip of his cap and goes back to his business. And then of course you see Flip. He's standing beside a gnome, wearing heavy armor, and he says, "Hey, it's feels like a month since I've seen you all. Wow. How's everybody doing?"
We missed you, Flip.
"Oh, that's great. Grizzle, did you miss me?"
Grizzle just like walks right past him.
That goblin is one tough nut to crack. Whew. It's good to see all the rest of you. Anyways.
We missed you, but our aim is getting better.
Wait, what?
It's a holy saying. Like many holy sayings, the meaning is lost in translation.
All right, cool. Awesome. So, I know the last time we saw you, Delchandra and I talked about you guys going to Candlekeep, and it's probably still a good idea. The boat's here. This individual, and Flip is going to point over to, what's your character's name, D20? I can't see it on my overlay.
It's Garrick.
Garrick points over to Garrick and says, this is Garrick. He's very well known in the book restoration community. And since you're going to a library, we thought, well, I mean, he knows something, so he can't be completely useless, right?
Well, we will need a book that Candlekeep does not possess to get in.
Oh.
And we will need, presumably, to take notes. So we'll need writing implements, and we'll have to write on each other's skin in places that we can cover with our normal garments.
Oh.
Unless we're really rich and can pay the monks to copy stuff out for us.
You seem to know a lot about this Candlekeep place.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
Cleric.
That's wild. Yeah, it's almost like you wrote the rules. So Flip is like, yeah, no, Thorange, you make a fine point. I hadn't really thought about that. A book.
It has to be something they don't have already. Do you have anything unique to your dwarven community, perhaps? It can be an old laundry list. It can be a record of ore takings from the dells. It just has to be new.
Everyone make an insight check, please.
Oh.
21.
Okay.
12.
12. Okay.
14.
14.
14.
14. Okay. Thorund, you are actually the only one who notices. When you say it needs to be a unique work, Flip kind of like his eyes start to dart, almost like he's like has something he doesn't really want to say.
That's so Flip. So, Flip, what are you keeping back from us? Spit it out, man. Spit it out. Life is better when you level with the people who are going to die for you.
Well, I mean, hopefully you don't die. So much paperwork.
We all do. It's just a matter of what we accomplish along the way. As you slide down the razor blade of life, it's where you get.
That's deep.
Hey. Clerics handle deep sayings to other clerics, and we repeat them without true thought of their consequences.
So he's like, okay. And he pulls out a scroll, and it's sealed by wax. And he's going to hand it to Farkan. And he says, only use this if you have to. If you can find something else, please use it, and don't open it before you get there.
Oh, it's one of the...
Okay.
And he sort of glances over his shoulder. He's like, hide it.
Because they've never seen a scroll before in Ravensbluff? Okay.
Don't want anyone to know you have that. And he's
Also, just kind of to mess with Flip, I'm just gonna like start opening it a little bit.
Ah!
And
No. He's gonna like gently tug. He's gonna gently tug at the scroll from Farkan and see if he can release it from Farkan's grip. No. Just keep it low key. Don't show anybody. And
okay, Flip, don't worry, I'll keep it safe.
oh, I'm
Keep
worried.
it low-key, or he'll be Thor.
And we have our first donation. Some generous soul, who don't know who that is, imposed a major bane onto our good friend Garrick. So let's see, what is 9?
That feels a little suspicious.
That's suspicious.
So Garrick, during your next combat encounter, for 1 minute, your walking speed is reduced by half because you take an arrow to the knee.
You used to be an adventurer.
So Flip says, this should get you in. But if it doesn't, I mean, you could make a copy of the Song of Tymora. You're literally the only group of people who has ever seen the 4th verse. So that could be good too. But, do what you have to do. The Osprey will take you to Candlekeep, and it's going to go sort of around. It'll take a while, but it'll get you there. I mean, unless it crashes and you all die, but that's unlikely. It's a good captain and stuff. He's going to glance at Garrick. Any questions?
Garrick's being kind of perched on the deck, He's sitting next to what appears to be a small table, binding an old book and looking at it. Glances up at Flip. I'm just looking for my money, and never speak of the debt I still owe you. So let's never speak of this again. Wink.
And Flip is going to look exasperated, and he's like, "I have no friends." So that Major Bane was courtesy of Hawkmere. Hawkmere, so don't
Thank you,
don't blame
Hawkmere.
me.
My favorite Valley Girl.
Totally. And Flip mentions that before you go, you could visit the temple and see what they've done. Since you've been there last, they've actually done a lot of work. Cedric Finehair is actually still here too. If you wanted to talk to him about the reconstruction. Otherwise, you could, go.
Do we have? So we have the verse. We have this scroll that we could use if we need it.
Yep.
I'm sure Grizzle could come up with something if we got really down to it. Do we need to go back to the temple again? They haven't been very helpful each time.
No, they've been a little something about it.
Grizzle's down to just get going. Candlekeep sounds exciting.
All right. And so what does everybody else think? Is everybody ready to push on?
I'm ready to go.
All right. Flip is going to lean into Shadows Across Rooftops. He's going to say, before you go, there's a dwarf that you should talk to at Ashakar's Curio Shop.
Do they have books for us? A dwarf, just like any dwarf. Does the dwarf own the shop? Does
Flip is gonna hold his head. He's gonna say, "It's a dwarf. There's only one of them there. The shop is
The
owned
shop
by
might be
Askar.
Okay.
I don't know where the dwarf is at present, but he might have some information that you could use or be useful or something."
okay? I appreciate the heads up. Yeah, so I'll head over there. Yeah, Asha Whoosy What's Curio Shop.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Flip. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I'm here for you. Okay.
right.
What would you all like to do now?
Shadows is just gonna go wander off in the curio shop.
Okay. Is anybody going to follow Shadows to the Curio Shop?
Nope.
Okay. Nope.
I've already headed down below deck, got my bunk set up.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sounds like Shadow is going solo. Great. You enter the curio shop, and it's really more like an open showroom. There are shelves that are lined with trinkets. A lot of them, you notice, actually have a very water-like quality, reminding you of the tides or the sea, very much like waves or creatures that you might find below the water. Standing behind the counter is a human, very handsome, and he says, "Greetings, my friend. Welcome to Ashakar's Curio Shop. How may I, Askar, be of assistance to you?"
I don't know yet. Do you have any books? Everything seems very cute here, but I like books. And
Books.
I was hoping to meet a friend here.
Oh, well, as you can see, there are no friends here at the moment, but I have something better than books. And he brings out a pendant on a bust. And it's circular, it's a coral that's been shaped in a heart. And he says, "This is a unique piece of jewelry that was carved by the merfolk beneath the Sea of Fallen Stars. It is called the Heart of the Ocean."
What's it do?
It is beautiful. It does nothing but please the eye and seek suitors and serve as a wonderful gift.
I mean, I don't have anyone to buy me a present like that, and really not like a. Do you have any earrings?
Uh, I have a uh this lovely tiara. It is said that it once belonged to a cousin of an elf who became a tree.
I mean, that's pretty cool. That and like it's sparkly and like the lights are very very pretty. I'm looking for
A spyglass with a cracked lens that was rumored to once be owned by an undead pirate captain by the name of Jones, who continues his undeath seeking this lost glass.
I'm actually looking for a dwarf-shaped friend.
And he just, without saying anything, he points to a doorway in the back of the establishment.
Yeah. Thank you. If you get any books in, or like a fancy pen, do you have a fancy pen or like some ink or a bookmark? Or like a little mouse on a string?
Ah, do you know
like
what would make an excellent bookmark? And he pulls out the pendant again.
I don't think you understand how books work, my friend. It needs to be flat. But yeah, I guess like, and Shadows would actually pull out her book and like take the chain of the pendant and place it in between the pages and close it so that like the heart of the ocean hangs out of the book. Yeah, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. Let me go talk to my dwarf-shaped friend, new friend, and I'm gonna think about that bookmark.
Thank you, Marcelo, for that donation for the players. You now have 2 rerolls. And so, Shadows Across Rooftops, he said, tell that doddering old dwarf to come back next year. I'm out of dwarven pieces, and go find an inn to stay in.
Okay, yes, I will definitely do that. Yes.
So there's you exit the space. There's a dwarf. It's seated under a large canopy, who seems to be enjoying a hot beverage of some kind.
Is there like another chair, another cup? Could I invite myself to?
Absolutely. There's 2 chairs at the table that he's sitting at.
Hello, new friend. May I sit down and enjoy a hot beverage with you?
Oh, yes, please. Sit down. Make yourself comfortable.
Shadows will immediately pull like her paws up off the floor and like will sit with all 4 paws on the chair like a good cat.
My name is Madelong Figglesiron. I am a humble cleric of Lady Luck. I was sent by the clergy of our smiling lady at Malmaster to thank you and all of your friends for all that you have done for our order. It has not gone without recognition that you have undertaken a vast array of duties for Our Lady, and one might say our world.
Shadows is going to pause just in case he's going to keep going. It's a privilege to work on behalf of Her Lady Luck, and hopefully she will continue to bless us on our adventures.
When you, after you're done talking, he sort of glances around. And he leans in, almost conspiratorially, as if he wanted to say something really, really quietly.
I have really good ears.
My actual name is Gar Hammerhand. I am a member of the Fellows of Free Fate. Our sole objective is to counter the efforts of Bishaba and prevent her influence from spreading. Though it seems, based on what we have heard, one moment. But it seems, based on what we have heard, that we have failed here in the vast. Even now, all across this place, the voice of our smiling lady is but a whisper to her followers such as myself.
Yes.
But the real reason I am here is not just to say thank you, but to tell you to be on your guard.
Constant vigilance.
Yes, because you are being tracked by an order of assassins known as the Blackfingers.
We've met a couple of them previously.
Oh,
They weren't very nice, but I assume there's more of them.
yes. So you have... This does not come as a shock to you.
I mean, a little bit. Absolutely a little bit. We didn't know if there were more.
Aha.
Mm-hmm.
Aha. Yes, there are more. Your trip to Candlekeep is well known. The birds and the fish are already whispering about your departure, though the purpose of your trip remains unclear. Do your best to keep it that way.
I mean, why does anyone go to Candlekeep? It's a library. It's the most magical place in the world.
From a certain point of view, that's true.
But yeah, mum's the word. Yeah.
We believe that the Blackfingers will attempt to stop you, though how or when, we don't know. Be wary of any sailors you don't recognize from your previous trips on the Osprey.
Okay.
Stay together. I
Got
fear
it.
the outcome is of greater importance than even your friends realize. And thank you to our good friend Aaron. Amy, you have been granted a boon. Once you're able to bypass a guard, a checkpoint, or some otherwise secured facility.
Ooh.
You don't need to see our identification.
Excellent. Thank you.
That was for you,
I've-
Blair.
I have a feeling that's going to come in handy.
Super useful soon.
He says, if you have any questions for me, please ask them. I'm an open book, much like many in Candlekeep. Ho, 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 ho.
Yeah. I've got a lot of questions. I'm not really sure where to start. First of all, what kind of tea is this? Or what are you drinking? It's delicious.
This is my go-go juice. It makes me talk like this.
Oh, it's a little weird. It's a little much for when you're trying to be quiet.
I know.
Awesome. So to recap, don't trust anyone we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to get killed.
Mm-hmm.
And keep everything a secret.
Mm-hmm.
We're so good at those things.
Then you should be fine.
Yeah, that'll be great.
It's
That's
almost
why-
as though we didn't need to talk.
Well, like Flip covers all of his bases, so yeah.
Oh, that Flip. He's a delight. Such a
The-
wonderful friend.
Absolutely, yeah. The guy out front sent a message.
Yes.
He said stay at a hotel next time, because apparently you're mooching off of his back room. That's a pretty nice back room, though, so I understand.
Ha! By the time I return next year, he'll have forgotten all about it. His mind, not what it once was. Ho,
Oh.
ho, ho, ho.
He's got a really nice bookmark for sale. I'm really kind of considering it. Is there like a friends and family discount?
I'm sure you could try and negotiate with him. Money is his overriding goal in life. Ho, ho,
True.
ho. Ho, ho.
I'll think about it. Like maybe I can like put it on layaway, or like when we get back from our trip. Our trip's gonna be totally uneventful, and we'll be back real soon.
Oh, yes. It always is, isn't
Yeah.
it?
All right. So what's the name of your secret group again? The Free Fates?
Wait, the one that I am a part of or the one that is trying to murder you?
Oh no, I definitely know about the stabby ones.
Yes, we are the Fellows of Free Fate.
Fellows of the Free Fates.
We
Got it.
are part of the church who seeks to oppose the Black Fingers, because if no one did that, they would run amok. Although it seems like they already are. So
Yeah.
we're going to have to look into that.
Yeah. All right. Are there any members of your order in Candlekeep that I should meet up with?
He sort of looks over his shoulder.
Uh-oh.
No.
Do you want to come with us?
Oh no, I must remain here. You see, my cover is to come to Ravensbluff once a year. And I must remain for another 10 day.
I mean, it's not really a great cover, but I get it.
It is a wonderful cover. Whatever do you mean?
I mean, what do you do on your free time? Like, what's going to happen next year?
I will come back.
But why?
Because it's my cover.
What do you do when you're here?
I do this.
You sit in a back room and drink go-go juice?
And sometimes I buy dwarven artifacts.
Okay. Okay, I mean, it makes sense.
I wish you good luck on your journey, my friends. Don't die. The world may depend on you.
You know, we hear that a lot lately. But thank you very much for your hospitality. And we'll see you upon our return, perhaps.
Yes, perhaps. Fortune favors the bold.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so you can return to the boat. All of your crew is there. Flip is sitting on the deck with the captain. Your friends have made themselves at home. Everybody's basically ready to go.
I'll try and huddle with my companions and tell them about my weird new dwarf friend, who gave us a couple of... Did he give us 2 names or just 2 jobs?
2 names.
2 names. Awesome. So our new 2-named friend said, don't talk to strangers, don't die, and there's an important one. Oh, watch out for the stabby people.
We're really good at this. I feel as a group we have never failed at any of those things.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. They said that the fish and the birds already know where we're going, but we're supposed to keep everything else a secret. So
The fish and the sure, yep, totally. Yep. 100% with you all the way.
yeah. So don't talk to the fish or the birds if you don't know them already.
Do like Grizzle like leans in like, do any of you talk to fish and birds like normally? Am I the only one finding this? Unless fish and birds mean something else. I'm like,
Dude was pretty specific. Fish and birds.
okay.
Yeah.
Flip is gonna to walk over to Farkan, and he's gonna put a hand on your arm, and he's gonna say, "It's a library, Farkan. They're gonna need you at your best. I believe in you. You have to take
Thanks,
care of
Flip.
them."
And I just pick up his arm off my shoulder and just put it down, like back to his side.
I have no friends. I just okay, well, great. This is wonderful. Feel good about this. Bye, Dr. Mordek. Goodbye, Thoron. Shadows. Grizzle.
Hi, Flip.
Fargan. Garrick.
We're just waiting for you to get off the boat, Flip. So we can cast off here, bud. Just gotta keep on walking.
And he disembarks, looking back and giving Grizzle the side eye.
Well, at least that's all I gave him.
So you begin your journey west toward the Sword Coast, and all of you know it's going to be quite a long journey. Do you have anything specific you'd like to do while you're sort of starting? Anything you getting ready before you get too far away from Raven's Bluff?
Grizzle overhears the captain saying that it's going to be a really long journey, and is quite surprised, as they did not bring enough provisions or food or ale for this. So he's just in like a state of shock. Like, what do you mean? How long are we going to be on this boat? The last trip was like a day.
Ah, ha, ha, ha. My little friend. Weeks.
Oh my god. And he just like sits down like, oh my god.
Do you get seasick?
I've just never been this far away from everything I've ever known. Oh.
He's
okay.
going to, the captain's going to hold out his hand and he's going to go like this. The world is a big place. So much to see. Yes, perhaps it is scary. But it is brave to be afraid and push forward anyway.
Just like blank stares from Grizzle, like his reality is shattered for how big the world is in this moment.
And he's gonna look to some of your friends. Can anyone pick up your shattered friend? I may have broken him. Anyone?
Yeah, I'll sit down next to him and like put my arm around him and just be like, "It's okay, Grizzle. It's fine. We'll get through this."
He feels comfort in that, and he's starting to put it together.
There we go.
As the captain's walking by, he's gonna look at the bookbinding that Garrick is doing, and he said, "Better be careful. The sea can get rough around the Horn."
Right. What do you mean, sea?
The water.
Flip promised me this was we were riding by horses.
Yes. No. This is not a 3-hour tour. This is a long voyage by sea.
Flip knows I get sick literally on rowing boats. Damn that Flip! Damn him to hells! And immediately start pulling out bags.
If you're gonna vomit over the side, spit first.
Sure, that's gonna happen. And he goes from a kind of a grey to a grey-green colour already, just thinking about the sea journey coming up ahead.
Well, I've broken 2 of them. Anybody else? And you all are able to talk and chat about anything you like. Really, it's the deckhands are going about their work. It's not time to eat yet. The captain said he'd call you when it was time to have your meal. So if there's anything you'd like to do or chat about, now's the time.
Do we recognize most of the our crew from our previous adventures on the Osprey?
Yeah, so you recognize the first mate, One-Eyed Willie. He's got 2 eyes, so the name's kind of weird. never really asked him why he's nicknamed that. Some of the you recognize the main deckhands as well. Jindal Rez is a human. He has a large facial tattoo of a scorpion that comes around his eye and tucked around his nose. And you remember, of course, grabbing Stone Thresher, who might be the tallest dwarf you've ever seen. He's 5'8" inches tall. And then there's a lanky, long-limbed Eladrin who has their right hand has a hook, and they were one of the casualties during your encounter with the avian fire beetles. And then you remember the cook, Rumpel Halfleaf, as well.
It's good to see them again.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go and pat around the deck and just sort of say hello to the folks that I recognize and remember, and maybe keep an eye out for strangers.
Sure. Are you going to talk to anybody specific, or are you just generally going to say hi to everybody? And
just generally saying hi, doing like a first pass, and like maybe figure out who's new or like.
You're able to get the sense that there are new hands because they come and go. But the core crew is more or less the same as when you were last here. Obviously, there were some deaths, and so those hands have been replaced. But they look to be working more or less hard. And I mean, you haven't talked to the captain about any of the new people, so you don't really know. But
yeah, no. Other than that, I'll just I'll do like a lap and head back to my friends.
Sounds good. Is anybody else going to do anything before dinner?
Not before dinner.
Okay. Farkan, Dr. Mordek, Thoron? No?
Is the captain still accessible?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to sidle up to him and look out to sea and say, I'm just curious. How are we going to get from the Sea of Fallen Stars to the Sword Coast?
Down and around. The long way.
I see.
We thought about going to the Dragon's Mere and then having you travel over land, but felt it might be too dangerous.
I see.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Flip said something about Garrick loves the sea and wanted the longer trip.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
And presumably Garrick sees as well. Thank you. Thank you for this information.
All right. Dr. Mordek, anything for you?
Yeah, Dr. Mordek is going to be on the deck with a tape measure, just taping measuring the skulls of every crew member that will let him near him.
The only one that allows you near them to measure their skull is Grabbling Stone Thresher, the dwarf. And he says, why are you measuring my skull?
Well, I'm not planning on your death, but if it should occur, I'd like to, be prepared.
Prepared in what way?
Well, I'd like to prepare a box so that I can put your head in it so that I could take it later on and examine it back when we get back.
Why would you take my head?
To study.
You gotta get ahead in the world. Sorry.
I would pack it with ice if that alleviates any,
I would prefer if you leave my head where it lays.
Tell you what. If you were to donate your brain to me on the eventual death of you and your friends, of course, I would, I don't know, buy you a kitten?
Kittens do not like ocean.
No, they hate water. That's true. Speaking of,
This is useless bargain. No, I have not seen your tabaxi friend. She was saying hello to me earlier, But now, she is not saying hello to me. So I do not know where she is gone.
Gotcha. Okay. Anyway, we'll discuss this after you're dead. See you later.
And so you disappear.
Yeah.
The ship is mostly open for you all to explore. The top deck is mostly unobstructed. There are 2 scorpions that are mounted on the port and starboard sides. The captain's quarters is really the only place you're not allowed to go. It's in the aft castle. It's not guarded, but there's always somebody around, especially on the top deck. Below deck, it's exactly what you'd expect. There are hammocks and storage, and there's a small eating area. And the captain summons you and many of the crew to a dinner. And as you approach what is the galley, there's a table and chairs set up for you. And there's a large spread of food, Grizzle. It's massive. There's fish and there's fowl and there's stew and there's bread and there's some vegetables too. And the captain stands and he addresses you and he addresses the crew and he says, "I'm not one for talking, but these heroes have saved our ship. If it were not for them, we would have sunk. Many of us, myself included, going down with her. They've earned our gratitude." And then he glances at each one of you. "Please, say a few words to your grateful crew." And he's sort of looking around, waiting for somebody to talk.
Be of stout heart and good cheer, and obey your captain, and obey your mate, and life will have a way of turning out as it should.
Hey! Everybody cheers. Anybody else?
Thanks for taking care of us. We'll try not to attract any beetles again.
Hey! They all raise their glasses. Dr. Mordek?
Yes, hello everyone. I hope everyone is well. If you have any headaches, nausea, or indigestion, please let me know. I just want to let you all know that I deeply appreciate all that you do, and that if any of you should die, I will make sure that your brains are well taken care of as I dissect them for science. Thank you, everyone.
Everybody's like, they go to like raise their glass, and then they wait, and they're like, wait, should we toast that? Is that something we toast to?
As they're doing that, Grizzle's like, ah!
Hey! And then they all end up doing it. So the everybody's sort of diving into this massive feast. Rumpel is bringing you food, heaping portions on each of your plates, and throughout the night, the dinner goes on for a couple hours. The night goes on for many hours. You eat for many, many times. The cook continues piling heaping portions upon your plate. 1 portion, a 2 portion, a 3 portion. Throughout the night, he brings you more and more food. If he sees you like something, he brings you more and more of it. If you say no more, he leaves the bowl beside you and says, "Maybe later." And he glances to everyone and says, "Who wants a blood sausage?"
Me.
He brings you a 1 sausage. Stop me when I'm done. A 2 sausage. A 3 sausage. A 4 sausage. This is a blood sausage. a 5 sausage,
Mm-hmm,
a 6 sausage.
How many you got there? Just bring them all.
Oh, I have a 10 sausage, a 7 sausage, an 8 sausage, a 9 sausage, a 10 sausage.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Can I roll to see if I can eat all this?
Absolutely. Make me. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do it this way. We are going to for the first 4 sausages. We are going to say that Grizzle has no problem. For sausage 5 and 6, you are going to be able to make a Constitution saving throw.
I shouldn't have asked to roll for this. Okay. That's a nat 20.
That'll do it. Roll again.
16 plus 3, 19.
Yep, totally fine. So 7 and 8 do the same thing.
Oh no. 4 plus 3, 7.
So you get to the 7th sausage and you're like, make me another Constitution saving throw. Let's see if you can keep it down.
Come on, Grizzle.
Keep
That's a
your
7
down,
again.
Grizzle.
Would you like to use one of your rerolls?
I mentally channel my friend Baharush. And I'm like, he wouldn't put up with the. He can keep this stuff down, and I re-roll for that one.
Yep.
Oops, sorry. Into the...
Can Dr. Mordek help him in any way?
Absolutely. You can say, you can give him some tips on, if you soak it in water first, it go down easier.
Friend, and I'll gently kind of rub your back. I know I've learned some interesting digestion techniques from dissecting a couple of very large animals in the past. If you gulp in one, like you breathe in as you're gulping, you can get a whole sausage down there. Oh. Anyway,
It's not that sort of show.
I'd like to assist.
Okay, so now you can make your reroll with advantage.
Oh, okay. The first one was like a 7, so yes, please. 14.
All right, so you succeed on both of your last 2 checks. However, the 9th and 10th sausages are going to be at disadvantage. So with Dr. Mordek helping you, this is going to be a straight roll. Okay. And at this point, for the 7th and 8th sausage, the crew is sort of like leaning in. They've taken notice of what you're doing, and once you start to do the 9th, they're like banging the table in rhythm.
I can do this. I just gotta hype myself up. 15 plus 3.
Absolutely, you get that 9th sausage down, and that the clapping starts getting louder.
Come on, Grizzle. 19 plus 3.
A cheer erupts as you swallow the 10th sausage. They begin. Two of the larger hands, One-Eyed Willie and Jin's, grab you by the legs and begin prancing you around. And everyone's shouting, "Grizz, Grizz, Grizz, Grizz."
Put me down. This is not good. Put me down.
Okay, and they put you down as soon as you say that.
It's just like I just go like I need to stand like on the edge of the deck or something, just like get the breeze in my air, like I'm just trying to mentally keep it all together.
1, throw up over the side. 2, throw up over the side. So you are able to keep the sausage down, and you have left the room, and they are still toasting to your success. They're like, did you see that? I saw that. They're like cheersing their glasses. It is a celebration of epic proportions down there in the galley. They have never seen anything like it, and you, sir, can have an inspiration point.
Thank you.
All right. Is anybody going to do anything else? The cook keeps bringing you food, just sort of piling it on your plates.
I'm going to slow down in my eating.
Fair. Okay. All right, so I should still be talking like the count. Things begin to wrap up as everyone eats more slowly. They drink their drinks and they go to sleep. Relaxing, the cook begins to clean up all that is left. The leftovers get saved for the ocean. All of you may go to sleep content. Grizzle has earned the idolatry of the entire crew for his food-based heroism. Okay. Amy, you get another boon. Thank you for that. Weed Night, 37. Let's see. Amy, you get a +2 bonus to your next Constitution saving throw, as your idea of a lazy Sunday is a 70-mile hike.
Ew.
I mean, my idea of a sundae has whipped cream on top. But anyway,
Ooh, a 70-mile hike with whipped cream on top. We'll watch.
Now it's a party. Now it's a party. So all of you are able to rest. The rhythmic rocking of the ship, Grizzle. You feel your stomach not feeling so great, but heroes don't throw up.
Nope.
Garrick, how are you doing? How's your stomach going?
No, he's been constantly throwing up, but fortunately he's using the ancient remedy of dried rat. So he's been chewing that.
Garrick, you see that a couple of the hands are actually, they see you throw up, and you hear them like, and they're looking at you as you throw. And somebody pulled out like a stylus writing implement of some kind and is writing on a piece of paper. And then they see you looking at them and like, and they're like pulling ropes and.
Okay.
Oh, are they making book?
That's the perfect response. It'd just be like, oh, okay, that was weird.
Okay. So Garrick's going to take time to the table he's been using is actually a shield, so it kind of folds back up in the table folds back up into a shield. He listens to the strange, I don't know, ceremony of eating sausages on a ship, which seems a terrible idea.
Yep.
And then in his journal, day 1, haven't sunk so far. This seems unusual. Let's see how this goes. The morning of day 2 is coming forward. I will pray to my god Mistra to find out if she, who's quite probably dead, can offer some advice. And then he goes back to writing journal notes again.
Mistra does not respond.
Strange.
Odd that. Every day on your trip is more or less the same. The crew works heavily during the day.
More sausages?
You have a massive feast at night. The massive feast as you progress is getting smaller and smaller. There's not 10 sausages. There's only going to be 4 sausages. There aren't going to be as many vegetables. There's going to be
We're using
less meat.
up the food.
Yeah, exactly.
we didn't really plan this through, did we?
And
It's all right. Scurvy won't set in for another 20 days.
yeah, you're totally fine. It's only like, another 25 days to Candlekeep. Some of the crew actually looks worse for wear, but they generally keep to their duties well enough because the carousing goes late into the night. Garrick, occasionally you'll see that same phenomenon. The crew will be whispering and like writing things down, looking at you, and they will then look busy as soon as you notice them.
Is it the same crew members, Gary, or is it different ones each time?
It's usually the same 2 or 3. Yeah.
Okay. So during that, I'm going to try to find the least murderous looking one of the party.
Okay. That would probably be either Farcan or Shadows Across Rooftops, I would say.
Okay. Which one stays under deck most time? Because, bright sunlight and fresh sea air seems to be a terrible idea. So which one of you two is more under the decks more frequently?
Eric, Amy, which one of you is hiding from the sun?
I'm probably napping in it, to be honest. Find a nice sunbeam, like the brightest sunbeam, just napping on deck.
Okay, that sounds like Farcan.
Yeah. So a completely unhelpful and probably inappropriate moment, sidle up to Farcan, which is, easy because it sounds like I'm a walking library. So imagine lots of, he's got a breastplate, this kind of shield, lots of quills. So he kind of rattles. It's a bit like a walking bookshop / library coming towards you, Farcan. Look, I don't know much about ships because they tend to sink on me quite frequently, but the crew keep taking notes, and it's that one and that one. And I'll give a description of the two crew members, and then I'll show you a number of pencil sketchings. The pencil sketchings don't actually show the crew. They show stick people with misshapen limbs because he's not very good at drawing, which is problematic. But points out that these two have been constantly writing notes. Is anyone in this group good at, purloining items off them to see why they're writing notes? It seems very strange crew would be doing that, don't you think, Farcan?
Yeah, that's pretty weird. This didn't happen last time we were on this boat. Nobody being real sneaky.
I think it's Flip, but I have deep suspicions about Flip. But perhaps Farcan, if you could speak to your party, which seems to be very well celebrated. I don't get out very much. I don't like ships. I'm going to pray to my God and discover if we're going to sink, because I think it's inevitable. We're going to be attacked by pirates or eaten by one of these dragon turtles. Happens every time. It's without fail.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could just check on these two, and I'll show you again the two stick people I've drawn on my page, and then describe them slightly better.
Yeah, well, it could be some secret stuff, but I don't think it's Flip. I mean, he's weird. He kind of sucks, but I mean, I don't think he would do any of this to hurt us, even though we're not very nice to him. But whatever.
But just in case the rest of your,
but we were told, someone's following us. So I don't know. There might be some spies on this ship.
Oh,
which would not be great.
Well, maybe mention the rest of your group. I'm going to continue rebinding this classic how to eat sausage in three different languages.
Cool.
And go back to my bookbinding.
All right, Farcan, what do you do with this information?
I think I'm gonna do a little team huddle with everybody and explain them, show the different the stick figures, and talk about what has been going on.
Yeah.
So that's weird.
Yeah, don't talk to strangers. That's what the guy in the back of the curio shop said.
Wait, did you say Garrick has a book on how to eat sausage? That could have been extremely useful a few days ago.
Well, I imagine he was writing it while watching you do it. So
Gotcha. And Mordex tips. Yep. Okay, that makes sense.
It's actually chapter 32 of my latest book.
Is this the same book, or is this a new book?
This is a new book I've been writing while I'm on the ship. It's just assorted thoughts and stream of consciousness.
Oh, a memoir.
Yeah,
Okay.
sort of.
Okay.
It's not in the first person, it's in the third person, though.
Who's the third person? There's
I
you and
named
there's
her
me. Oh, okay.
Dr. Mordick and the mysterious stick figures. Yeah, I buy that.
So should we keep an eye out? Should we figure out where the stick figures do they know each other? Do they bunk together? Should we check up on them?
Absolutely. I mean, Garrick gave a pretty good physical description of them, so you can definitely seek them out for sure.
So we should watch Garrick to see if people are watching him and then watch them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Creepy. I like it.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh shit, Garrick's here. Yeah, you could be the bait.
Absolutely, you're able to spy on Garrick being spied on, and without fail, there are 2 or 3 who are always sort of whispering and trying to avert his gaze.
Hmm.
Is it always him, or are they looking at any other?
Always him.
rumor?
None of you none of the rest of you have seen this happen to you.
Weird.
Grizzle's a little miffed about that, but okay.
I'll stare at you creepily, Grizzle. Don't worry.
Thank
I'll
you.
I'll creep out from behind the mast and hide again.
Yeah, I'm mysterious too.
Yeah.
Do we want to? Okay, so we've seen these people doing this.
Mhm.
Do we want to I'm assuming we've re-huddled once confirming the suspicions. Do we want to grab 2 of these guys, get them in the hold, and do a little hey, what you doing?
Sure. Yeah. Oh wait, you weren't talking to me. You're talking to your friends.
Nope.
Never mind.
Definitely not talking to you, Gary. Come on.
Sorry.
We're talking to the people we're about to interrogate. Be hey, do you want to be taken into the hold? Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you want to snatch them, or try to get their book?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm always up for another book in the collection. Maybe they're book spies. Maybe they're trying to steal the information and bookbinding that Garrick carries around inside that magnificent book-filled brain of his. Obviously.
I'm terrible at both sneaking and talking to people, so you just let me know if you need me to hold somebody. But other than that, I'm not stealing books or intimidating very well.
Mm-hmm.
Do we wanna go broad daylight and just be what's up? Or do we wanna be like sneaky after they go to bed?
I can't help but think they might misinterpret if we wait until they've gone to bed and then try and take them into the hold.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, let's just confront the bully in daylight kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're just gonna straight go up and talk to them? So they sort of see you, and one of them is the dwarf, and he's like, yes, how can we help you? What is it that you want?
Information mostly.
Yes.
I am I'm fond of books, and I'll pull out my book and I'll show them the notes that I've been taking. I see that you also have a really nice book, and I was wondering if we could.
No, we have no
compare
book.
Notes. You have no book.
No, it
But
is not a book.
Well,
I
what
have
is
no
it?
book. It is nothing of your concern.
I think it is. I mean, I'm just trying to be friendly. We're on this boat for a real long time.
Make me a persuasion check.
And I'm bored. And I gotta find my tab that has my persuasion. Persuasion +0. Got a 13.
He sort of looks around, and he reaches into his pocket, and he shows you a piece of paper that says day 1, and it has 7 strokes through it, and then day 2 it has 5 strokes through it, and then day 3 it has 5 strokes through it. It's like, do you want in on our pool?
Oh.
Yeah. No surprise there.
What are
Yes.
the stakes?
Everyone puts in 5 gold per day. They make one guess and determine how many times that little creature will vomit over side of boat. At the end of journey, whoever has most correct days wins pot.
Mm-hmm.
We rotate on who gets to pick number. He
Yeah.
vomits quite a lot,
You
which is
got it.
why game fun.
Shadow is gonna put 5 gold in.
Oh my god.
What number
is
do you
Garrick
want?
with us right now?
So is it a cumulative number or is it
No,
5 gold
you
every day?
5 gold per day.
Okay, so for tomorrow, I want 0.
It is your gold if that is your choice. But you will
I'm
fail.
an optimist.
And they go back to their duties. So it seems like they're hosting a pool on how many times Garrick was going to throw up every day.
Okay. I'd like to go to the cook
Mhm.
and see if they have any ginger or anything that we could make into a tea to help settle Garrick's stomach.
Ginger? Where am I going to get ginger?
From my satchel. Let's see if I have anything good in my inventory.
From your satchel?
I don't know. I also have a pet mouse, apparently, which is weird. Just living in my do you have anything to help settle someone's stomach?
Hot water.
Do you have any tea?
I mean, I could put some oregano in hot water.
Oh, that seems very
Gross.
spicy. Yeah, it's a little weird. Do you have any of those little dotty things that you can put behind your ears for pressure points to make? How do you? I mean, I guess on a boat, I'm trying to help my friend not throw up so much and maybe win some gold.
You just get used to it.
Hmm.
And he sort of looks around and he's like, well, I guess this part of the ginger isn't rotten. And he takes like a quarter-sized slice of ginger from the ginger and then tosses it back in the pile and then puts it in some hot water and here.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. And I'll sort of, I don't know, get like a spoon and sort of mash up the ginger in
Yeah.
the water.
Yeah.
And let it steep and then take it to Garrick and let this steep and then drink it tomorrow morning and maybe it'll help settle your stomach.
That is most kind. However, if we could sink the boat or get off it, that would probably make me feel better faster.
No, totally understand. The problem is if we sink it, we go with it. But here's the deal. Those weirdos, the stick figures, they're betting on you, my friend. And if we can win the pot by keeping your insides on your inside, we can split it.
Thank you for the information, and I will assist you. I would suggest you keep away from those two for the next week or so, however, for reasons you probably don't need to know.
Okay, absolutely.
All right.
So
Just going to speak to my goddess. Back in a few moments.
Okay. So what are you doing to punish these ne'er-do-wells, Garrick?
Because this is D&D, and just because I apparently have a spell called Curse, which I can drop on people.
Yes.
It's a very powerful spell.
Yes.
And I am going to make sure it is inconvenient, upsetting, and involves lots of rashes in unpleasant places, Gary.
Well, that feels very personal.
Chafing
Very personal.
of the highest order.
So the next few days pass, and you notice Grappling the dwarf and Jinlei are not anywhere to be found. Upon investigation, it seems that they are mostly spending time in the washroom with an inability to leave because of the things that are happening in their body. The sounds, if you're on the lowest deck, are quite agonizing. And it's unpleasant of the highest order. And the captain says, "What got into them? Usually don't catch ill while we're on the boat."
Stranger things have happened, I guess.
They got some bad ginger.
So after a while, it takes more than 3 weeks total to get to Candlekeep, but you do arrive safely. The feasts that you have experienced are not so much feasts anymore as just subsistence. You get some crusty bread, a little bit of beer, and a little bit of dried meat. And you are now on the Sword Coast, and you can see Candlekeep just off in the distance. What would you all like to do? Haha, nice.
Just like to call it terribly managed trip. I don't know why that cook just front loaded all the food, over serving us. I obviously had nothing to do with it personally, but gonna give him a 3 out of 10 on the old Yelp.
Okay, that's fair. So yeah, what all are you going to do? Grizzle's writing his Yelp review. Gonna post it where all fine bills are stuck.
Just like a tree, like just walking past the tree, I just nail it to one.
Nice. Okay.
I feel like we should be getting our ducks in a row to go to Candlekeep. Like, how far is it from here to there?
It's relatively close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna buy some ginger if I can find some in a shop.
Mhm.
Put it in my bag before Garrick's there.
Fair enough.
So Garrick pulls the team together and says, as Thoron mentioned, you need a book to enter Candlekeep, a unique piece of writing. Now, I saw Flop hand you something. I don't really trust Flop. So do you have anything else that you may be able to give to the guardians at the door to allow us passage in? I'm obviously going to do some repairs for them, but if you're going to enter, you're going to need something specific. So do you have anything that is unique in writing style? I can bind it up for you, make it a bit more presentable for you.
Do we each need something?
No, just one. One for
Well,
the group.
I mean, Flip gave me this scroll thing, and when I pretended to open it to like scare him, he got really scared. So this is probably what we got to show him, right?
If the group is okay, I'd just like to do a few cursory checks on anything that Flip has provided, since Flip is mercurial on his good days.
Yeah, I don't like him. We should open this thing.
We could present them with the first edition of Dr. Mordek's new memoir.
It's not ready yet. I've only finished chapter 33. There's about 22 more chapters to go.
Do you have any of your previous works?
You could
Of course
end
I
it
do.
on a cliffhanger.
I have the exactly. As Thoron said, I have the previous version of the anthology. It did end on a cliffhanger. I can let it go for reasonable cause.
An author autographed copy would probably be really valuable.
Oh, my agent doesn't let me autograph anything.
Really?
Yeah, it's a complicated thing.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like it. I'll sign it.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, Garrick, do you think the Good Doctor's book? How do we find out if they have the book before we show up?
Well, if you allow me to bind it quickly, which will be fairly straightforward, while I'm doing that, I can see if the item Flip gave this group was magical in some way, just in case it explodes in our face. Haha, Flip. He's a card. And with that, I will take the good doctor's script and put it into a nice leather binding, and then just kind of pierce it and sew it through and give it a sense of a little bit more grandeur. So a thicker bind, and kind of just give it a bit of a press as well. And at the same time, Gary, if I could cast Detect Magic and see if the scroll is magical in any way, shape, or form.
The scroll does not detect as magical.
Okay. And could I do an examination of the seal as well to see, because it was sealed with wax?
Yes, it has the seal of the Gravenbeard clan on it, which is the dwarven clan that Flip works for.
Okay. With Flip, it's a flip of the coin if it's going to be anything of value, and the one presenting it could get into problems with Flip's sense of humor. But I believe the doctor's book is probably, given the size and depth and some of the detail in this, is rather incredible, Doctor. It's quite incredible indeed. I think you have a future. But however, I think this may quite happily get past some of the Guardians, but we'll have to chance our arm. Who's the most charismatic in this group? Grizzle, I'm going to say no.
Immediately
but, normally an author, such as a famous author, doesn't do much of the talking. They look mysterious, Doctor, and I think you holding your book could do that. So I don't know which one of you has the presence and kind of zing that can sell this book to the Guardians themselves. Anyone at all?
I mean, Thoron's pretty silver-tongued.
Marvelous. Another cleric can embellish this story to an exceptional level. Just sell the book, sell the author, sell the story, and we'll be in fine. No problems at all. And hand the book back to Dr. Mordak.
All right. So is that the plan? You are going to go forward and present Dr. Mordek's book? Great.
That's what we got.
What is the title of your book, Dr. Mordek?
That's a great question. This is part of my fictionalized anthology. It's not part of my nonfiction aneurysms. So this is named after I write in the third person, of course, and the hero of the third person is just a named Jane. So it's just Jane, volume 3.
Volume 3. Okay. So you walk down the way of the lion toward the gate of Candlekeep. There's a line of about 10 people in front of you, and they're all waiting, and the line is moving slowly. The monks are sort of all there, and there's 5 of them. One of them comes up front, and they're examining the book, and occasionally they'll go back to confer with their colleagues, and even one time they call somebody from within the library to chat. Some of the folks who are in line have their submission accepted, others are turned away, and you come to the front of the line, and he says, "Yes, greetings. My name is Titus Weaver. What have you brought today as your offering?"
I just nudged Dr. Mordek from behind, like, hey.
Yes. Hello. My name is Dr. Mordek, M.E. I am presenting the 3rd volume of my fiction anthology, In the Name of Jane, So this is Jane, Volume 3. It took me many, many weeks to write. It's one of my best sellers. I present it to you.
He's going to open up the book. He looks inside. Yes, Volume 3. Odd that you would start with Volume 3, but as you know, when it comes to fiction, occasionally it is a smaller print run. He goes back and he confers with some of the other monks at the gate. Before entering, he looks at all of you and says, "Yes, Jane, Volume 3 is acceptable. I have conferred with my colleagues and can confirm it is not in the collection here at our library. But before entering, you must agree to our orders of accordance to ensure that you neither fight, nor steal, nor copy, nor damage, nor mark, or otherwise modify the works in any way, shape, or form. Now, we have heard of those who do not take paper into the cells with them. They actually write on their bodies. We are attempting to discourage that, as it is somewhat unsanitary. So, if you would kindly raise both of your hands and repeat after me. No fighting.
No fighting.
No fighting.
No stealing.
No stealing.
No copying.
No
copying.
copying.
No damaging, marking, or otherwise modifying the works.
No
damaging,
marking,
marking,
otherwise modifying the
Works.
works.
These are the things that I agree to.
These are the things.
These are things that I
agree.
And by agree to do, I mean not do.
not
By
do.
agree to do,
I won't.
I mean not
I
do.
will
Yes.
not do.
You
doing
won't
that.
fight, steal, copy, damage, mark, etc., etc.
Yeah, they're monks, all
Nope.
right.
He says, "Very good. Welcome to Candlekeep." And he says, "Please follow me. You are our last deputants of the day. I shall take you inside. So, what brings you to our great library? What knowledge is it that you seek?"
Well,
I'm with her. Yep. I'm with them.
We seek to know more about planes, gates, travel between worlds, and preventing it and the natural order of things. And
Yes. We were told that you might be coming. I apologize. And he sort of looks around very slowly. That I did not immediately recognize you. I shall. Yes, please. Follow me this way. And very slowly, he leads you to one of the outer towers that's built into the library's walls. And he looks at the large door and sort of pushes it open laboriously. And then he looks at the stairs going upward and sighs deeply. And that is where we are going to take our break. Thank you, everybody, for donating so far. We are at $162 raised. Thank you very much. We appreciate your generosity. And we will be back in 10 minutes after we refresh our drinks, and look forward to seeing you again then.
did I hear drinks?
Yes, you did.
I need one after all these voices. Welcome back, everybody. We are excited to have you. And before we start, this is going to be a surprise to our players as well. As you know, September 25th is our finale. This is episode 7. After this, we have what's it, August, September. We have 2 more episodes after this one, and we look forward to seeing. I hope our players look forward to seeing where the story goes. But September is also the reason why our finale is in September is because it is Duchenne Awareness Month, and we're trying to raise awareness for this rare disease that so many people aren't familiar with. So in addition to our finale on the 25th, we are going to hopefully build excitement and awareness by introducing what we are calling side quests. So on September 4th, September 11th, September 18th, and twice leading up to our finale, we are going to be hosting one-shot adventures, raising money for Jesse's Journey. Our DMs so far include Lauren Urban, Adam Bradford, and Jake Norman. We have an incredible array of players. We have Eugenio Vargas, RoboGoblin, Hope Lavelle, Feliza Casano, Goblin Katie, Chris Siddiqui, Anthony from our sponsor Talon and Claw, Stanford from our sponsor Legendary Pants, Megan Kenrick, Crucian Gall, Riley Silverman, Honey and Dice, Anthony Joyce. There are so many people, and those are just the people I can talk about right now. So we're going to run 6 games in September, raising money for Jesse's Journey. Thank you for supporting us so far and for raising awareness, which all of this leads into our finale on the evening of September 25th, which I'm very excited about. So we are at $187.50 raised. So thank you everybody for contributing to our cause. We're so grateful. All right. So Titus sees the stairs and he sighs deeply. And he's like,
Would you like to stay here?
No, I should introduce you. Oh. Wait, just a minute. Oh. No, I'm fine. This is fine. This is fine.
I'm starting to think Dr. Mordek needs to get involved here.
After about 10 minutes, which probably would have only taken all of you two, Titus raps on the door. And it's closed. What do all of you do?
Weren't there stairs on the other side of this door?
Yeah, you walked up the stairs and you're now at the
Oh.
door. That was what my exaggerated panting was all about.
Oh,
okay.
God, he was just having a problem.
Yeah, me too. I thought he was just standing there like
God.
For
Having
10
a coronary.
having an aneurysm right in front of us.
Where are you taking us, bud?
I'm taking you to see Silvira. She is one of our great readers and very knowledgeable.
Oh, no, we broke Gary.
Is it Gary or is it this great role playing? I don't know.
I'm gonna buy him some honey drops after this.
For the very knowledgeable about the planes. If she has any questions, she would be the one to answer them. Certainly. Oh.
Grizzle just gives finger guns like, all right, man.
The door opens.
Finger
Almost
guns.
expectantly, a tiefling, red-skinned, wearing mage's robes. Their horns are pierced. Golden baubles are dangling haphazardly. The room is plastered with various cosmological maps. You don't see even many gaps in the stone walls. The tables are covered with astrolabes, books, telescopes. And, come in. I must say it took a frightfully long time for you to get here. And she glances oddly at Titus.
Oh, well, we were just so overwhelmed by the beauty of Candlekeep and the number of books that you keep here. So we definitely took our time coming up the stairs to absorb the beauty and the majesty of your wondrous book repository. Oh, we broke Carrie.
Oh.
I'm muted. Can I get an insight check from everybody?
Oh no. That's a very ominously long pause before the insight check.
My
Insight check.
My insight check rolls that you had an aneurysm.
I'm healed. I'm good.
I
now.
only have a 12.
Okay.
26.
Oh my goodness.
And
I got an 18.
my insight is that Gary needs strong drink.
He needs strong drink.
You are right. Too much. I'm putting too much role playing into my role playing right now.
Yes.
I'm not even gonna. You're gonna see right through it, Thorond. You recognize that Titus is not who he says he is. You can see through his disguise, and as you clearly recognize that something is amiss, he says, I apologize. Now that we are here, I can introduce myself. My name is Eli Ivanmore. I, too, like my friend Silvira, am a great reader here at Candlekeep. His appearance changes. His monk robes are replaced by flowing white wizard robes. A majestic golden circlet appears on his head, and his walking stick that he was using to aid him up the stairs becomes an ebony staff whose polished so finely it seems to be reflecting light in every direction. We wanted to maintain appearances because our friends at the guild told us that you would be coming, but they did not tell us why. They asked Silvira and myself to be here to receive you and to answer any questions you might have. My specialty is divinity, and hers is the planes, as I mentioned. So, why have you come?
Didn't the guild tell you?
No. As I said, they did not. They told us that you were coming and that we should expect you, that myself and Silvira should be attending you, which is odd, but nonetheless, usually the monks would help you get what you're doing done. Not typically the purview of great readers. However, here we are.
Shadow doesn't she hears a capital G, capital R in great readers. Is that accurate? Like this, they were
Oh, yes.
pretending to be monks, but they normally we don't normally get to see behind the curtain at the great readers. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Grizzle is still just like mouth agape at the person who transformed with the staff.
Well, our friend Flip gave our friend Farkan this fancy scroll that we're not supposed to open, so maybe you are the appropriate people to show that to. What do you think, Farkan?
Yeah, probably. Here you go.
Sure, very well. He takes a letter opener off of the counter. He opens it. He's like, Flip's famous elderberry scones. The secret is that you add cinnamon also. Oh well, this would have sufficed. This is actually quite a unique recipe. Never seen scones made this way before.
Huh.
He sort of slides it into his pocket.
Well, Flip strikes again. So, okay. So, here's the short version.
All right.
We have set out on a quest because there's a prophecy about Bashaba and Timora.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been adventuring to collect bits of the prophecy, and we're trying to prevent Bashaba from taking over. We definitely didn't let the aspect of Bashaba out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That totally wasn't us, but we've been
Us.
traveling. Yeah,
I just like hide the Shadow Weaver like a bit more behind my back.
But we went to a shrine to Timora, and we've been collecting these pages from the book because the lady with the hair and the stuff, Deshandra, we've been collecting the page. And when we put the book together, it's either bad or good, depending on something. That one's not in the notes, but we've got this fourth verse of a prophecy, and we're gonna be we have to figure out where the big book that we put together was written.
Do you have the name of the book? It would help us.
I've got pages of notes. It's the book of fancy. Oh, it's the Codex Cosmologica regarding planar travel.
And they sort of look at each other. The ally says, well, Bishaba and Timora have long been at odds. Generally, their influence balances as fortune and ill fortune do, wax and wane, luck and bad luck. Though it seems, based on what you said, that Bishaba has retained some influence somewhere. And then Silvira pipes in and says, well, yes, I've heard of the Codex Cosmologica, though it was believed 100 years ago, destroyed 100 years ago on a plane not here.
Well, the pages have been appearing here. So,
If I might make a suggestion to my fellow companions of adventure, should anything happen to us, that fourth verse that we have with us should also be in the keeping of the monks of Candlekeep.
that's true.
If you if it's not too demeaning for great readers to write something down, we can share this verse with you, and I think we should anything happen to us go amiss.
Thorond, Shadows Across Rooftops mentioned it, but when you talk about the fourth verse, glimmer of recognition dances across his face. A fourth verse of the Song of Timora.
Oh, yeah. Is that what we've been writing down? Yeah.
And he sort of shakes his head. Long has it been rumored that there was a lost fourth verse, but many expeditions have sought such a verse and have found come home empty. And he's like, oh yes, I would very much like to read that. I have no compunction about copying that myself. And he's sort of looking expectantly at who might be able to provide this.
I'm more than grateful to share with you this information, this very important information. A lot of people have been looking for a really long time. But I was wondering if you could revoke that part about not copying anything out of the library just for us.
Unfortunately, the rules are somewhat inflexible.
Maybe you could copy something, or one of the monks could copy, without a fee.
You want us to copy something, or you want to copy something?
Not you personally, obviously, because you have capital letters in your title, and that's very impressive. But if there should happen to be a book, and I believe that since we're not allowed to copy things, we can request someone to copy for us.
Yes, I could use my influence to secure the credit of copying one book for you of your choice, depending on from which collection it is drawn. Some books are of great power and are not permitted to be copied. However, should you select one that is permissible, I shall, at my personal cost, secure you such a copy request.
We, I think, would appreciate that, and especially Garrick, would you like a job here? Like, would that interest you? Like, I know they've asked for you, but like, would you like a permanent job here? Maybe we could make that happen.
I'm more of a contract worker,
I
so in
understand.
out doing these sort of things, but happy to help out, and especially if
Okay.
this is their homes here, I'd love to just delve into these sort of things.
Yeah. Maybe there's some nice spells that we could copy, like for Farcan. But anyway, yeah. I mean, we can work out the details later.
Yes,
But
yes.
I just wanted to make sure that we weren't giving something up to save the world
Yes.
and not have anything.
Yes, of course.
Adventure.
We are reasonable here
Absolutely.
at the library. And then Silvira pipes up and says, "My friend, we should focus.
Mm.
You're speaking about the Codex Cosmologica, and as I've noted, great power tends not to remain destroyed, as we've seen countlessly over generations and aeons and aeons. There is a book called the Void Rot Chronicles. It was written centuries ago by a human named Varid al-Bashir. He accidentally stumbled between worlds and fell into a group of migrant planar travelers. I don't know how that happened, because I've never read the book. It is secured in the basement deep below the library, as no one has dared open it for 50 years. My predecessor, the last great reader, was actually the one who did it. He was overconfident and was perhaps too brazen in his actions. He opened the book, and when he did, he was frozen in blue light and never moved again. He continued to age and eventually died, never moving, trapped by something in that book. But given what we know about the Codex Cosmologica, particularly how the author met these travelers, it might somehow reference your codex. It could be worth the risk if you are willing to take it."
Well, I didn't come here to read, so you don't bring a goblin to a book club if you don't expect some fisticuffs.
Oh, maybe I don't know, Farcan, that fancy shield that you got, maybe it could protect us if we all hide behind it. Like, keep that blue light in the right place.
That's true. Yep, I can hold that shield. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
That is pretty cool.
So you're all gonna head to the basement, and yeah, okay. She waves her hand, and one of the walls opens. She says, "This way. Please mind your step. It's quite dark." And the staircase winds down and down and down. After what seems like hours, but of course it was only 10 minutes or fewer, you hear the grinding of stone against stone and the flickering of torchlight. And you hear a booming voice as the wall opens. It's, "Who goes there?" And Silvira responds, It's just me, Miriam." "Oh, Silvira. It feels like ages since we've spoken. How goes your studies? Are you still in favor of that newfangled great wheel cosmology you told me about?" And then she says, "Yes, of course I am." "Ha! It's a fad, you'll see. These things have a way of changing. But who are your friends?" They are your friends. As she says that, this massive set of incorporeal dragon jaws thrust forward through the darkness and turn. A great spectral eye looks at all of you. "Name yourselves before you earn my passage."
Your shadowy dragoness. I am Shadows Across Rooftops, a humble admirer of books.
She turns her eye to Grizzle. "And you?"
Just like cross my arms, like look right up, like, "Grizzle, champion of the sausages on the sea."
"Wait, did you say champion of the sea sausage?"
Sausages on the sea, 10 in fact.
Ha. Could eat 100 goblins and you're proud of eating 10. Sausages.
It was pretty difficult, yes.
And he looks at the rest of you, the incorporeal dragon looks at the rest of you and says, fine, but let me ask you. And then she sort of, her eye swings back and forth. How are the Waterdamian dragons faring in their local leagues? Well, I hope.
We've not heard of any problems, so I would agree with you. Well, I hope.
It's been some time since I left. I don't know how they're doing.
The Silent Nine send their regards. And everything else is NDA.
Is it true, and she looks at Farkan, that I overheard someone talking about a city being pulled into Avernus? What was that all about?
Urban renewal comes to
And Silvira pipes in and says, I'm sorry, Miriam, we do need to go. We're looking for the Void Rot Chronicles. As soon as she says Void Rot, the dragon's voice booms, you should know better. As she's walking toward a distant part of the basement, she beckons you to follow her, and you hear "you should know better" echoing in the library. She leads you.
Definition of an adventure. We know better and do it anyway.
She leads you. She walks through a wall that looks like a bookcase. What would you all like to do?
I'm going to try and keep my paws off the books, but other than that, I'm just going to follow the bigger and stronger, or at least stronger, Grizzle.
Oh, okay. Grizzle goes first.
Okay.
Here we go.
You walk right through. Is it safe to assume that everybody follows?
Off we go.
Great. So you come into a room. It's big enough for all of you, but it's a tight fit. It only houses this particular book on a pedestal that's glowing in a soft blue light. And she says, "This is the Void Rot Chronicles." Before you begin, do you have any questions?
What happened to the guy? The guy that was a statue?
Oh, he eventually died and was removed.
Oh, so he's not like still a statue down here?
Oh, no, he died. Yes.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. But was he still a statue when he died? Like, how could you tell?
He fell to the ground.
Weird.
So just to be clear, this book offers near certain death if you misopen it, and the person touching it is the one that is ensorcelled by this blue light. Any pointers of not dying immediately, because that seems, unfortunate?
Well, the truth of the matter is we don't know. It's only been opened once, as far as we can tell. But it may have the answers you seek. He seemed frozen in time and never spoke again. I would listen to your better judgment.
Better judgment says have a tea and one of those delightful scones that's hidden in from the list from Flip. I'm sure it's not toxic at all. However, we have a job to do, and these heroes need to move forward. So I would like to investigate this book before we open it to see if there's any arcana that I can distinguish.
Are you going to make an investigation check?
Yes, please.
Make me or an investigation check, but please do so with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
As you're trying to look at this book, you're trying to think of what these problems may be, but you're having a really hard time focusing.
Okay. 16 with disadvantage.
16 with disadvantage. So the book is leather bound and it too glows softly. The title's inscribed with golden letters and it's tightly bound. It looks to be in perfect condition as if it's never been touched. The subtitle reads, "The unwritten path is true," or "The unwritten path is the true path." You don't see any locking mechanisms or anything else beyond that with your check.
Okay. And I will drop up a detect magic as well, just to see if there's a particular ensourcement on this book as well, please, DM.
Yes, you may do that. It is transmutation magic and strong transmutation.
Okay, so impart this all to the group, and then point out some of the beautiful binding that was in there. And look at the gold filigree; it's marvelous. I do think we have to open this, unfortunately, and explore what's in.
Can I check the pedestal and maybe anything around the room for ruins?
Yeah, absolutely. Make me an investigation check with disadvantage, please.
3.
Yeah, you lose sight of the book for a moment, really. Even though it's glowing blue in the center of the room.
I don't feel so good, guys. Those sausages from 3 months ago are really starting to...
No.
All right, so she says, "If you have no further questions for me, I will excuse myself and wish you the best of luck. It is dangerous work, but I believe that you can do it. At least I hope you can."
Will you come back and check on us in a little bit?
Yes, certainly.
Okay, thank you. Somehow I feel like we should have been writing up our last will and testament while we were on the ship.
Dibs out, Grizzle says.
All right, who is going to open the book?
Will you allow me to cast a couple of spells first, just so I
Absolutely.
can prepare?
Do you have anti-turn to stone? Or anti-petrify?
I believe from what was spoken here that this will probably transport us somewhere, and there will be an adventure to be had. Not particularly a good one. I have a terrible feeling that this will result in various deaths. However, apparently you need to go forward. So I am willing to open the book, but I'm guessing since you're all in the room, it's all going to end badly for all of us. So you may want to leave now. Just checking.
Did the big dragon and the great reader, did they lock the door behind us? Can we get out?
You could absolutely get out if you wanted. I mean, it's an illusory bookcase that she walked through. So
okay, I just want to make sure that we had our options.
Yep. 100%. You could flee absolutely.
Grizzle's thought process. Yeah, Grizzle's thought process as Garrick was saying that was, yeah, let the new guy open it. And then when you were like, I think all of us will go in, I was like, damn it. So,
I mean,
so if you're all prepared, and by the looks of the fear on your face, that's a no. So I'm going to open this on the count of 3. Ready? 3. And then open book.
When the book opens, the room is bathed in a flash of wondrous blue light, and everything stops. It's as if you're frozen in time. You blink, and when your eyes open, you're in what appears to be a black void. There's a blue, iridescent road leading away from you. There's a single sign beside you, and on it is written, "No time is past." In all directions beyond the road is complete and utter blackness. What do you do?
Can I ask for the spelling on the sign? Is it P-A-S-T?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Because if you're going to pull a pun out on me, I'm going to be prepared.
Oh, yeah, it's P-A-S-T.
Okay.
what was the... Somebody said something about walking the like an unknown path?
Oh, the subtitle of the book read, "The Unwritten Path is the True
Oh.
Path."
Oh, so maybe we don't follow the blue sparkly road?
I would assume that the previous book opener followed the blue sparkly road and never made it back.
Yeah.
But it also seems like the only way to. Grizzle just. Sorry, my dog's barking at me to play with her. Grizzle just walks off into the blackness away from the blue road.
No, wait a minute. Are there any yellow brick roads around?
Not that you can see.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Grizzle just to make sure he's not, in
Yeah.
danger.
Nothing happens.
Okay, cool.
You aren't
I just end
instantly
up
swallowed
back.
by a darkened void.
Guys,
And we just end up back at the start point.
No, you are like 10 feet away in the middle of a black void.
Oh no.
Come towards the light.
Yeah, I jog back.
yeah, let's
Sure.
go back.
Yeah, you can easily go back.
Cool.
Nothing was holding you in the darkened void.
Okay. Well,
Right,
that's
so it looks like we're gonna have to follow this blue road.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you wanna do
wasn't
it.
a good idea. I'm no longer gonna do anything without the rest of the group.
Okay.
Let's,
Are you going to
go.
travel along the road?
I guess so.
Okay. So you're walking, and after about 10 minutes, you see a glowing blue bench, and there's a figure, much like you, are outlined in the glowing blue light. Everyone can make me a perception check, please.
6.
22.
ooh, 11.
15.
Yeah.
15.
Dr. Mordek?
15.
So anybody who got over 15, you can actually hear the figure muttering about riddles and questions. Riddles and questions, riddles and questions. He's wearing just a regular tunic and clothing suited by traveling by road.
Does he look like he might be the monk friend that was a statue?
He does not appear to be wearing monk's vestments or any type of attire that you've seen at Candlekeep so far.
Okay.
And we didn't see the. We should ask for a description of that other guy.
Hmm.
Maybe he'll look like he's dead. I don't know.
I was going to ask him, this fella, a few questions, and if you stay at a reasonable distance, just to save me if he tries to steal my soul with me, that'd be marvelous.
He sees you approaching and he says, "Oh, are you trapped here too?"
Not currently. They're on a quest. I'm looking for future employment.
Very good.
You were muttering to yourself, and you have a lovely bench. Is either important to, a forming quest and getting out of here?
It's just a bench. Not that I can think of. I don't know how long I've been here. Feels like forever. I've been trying to get out, but I can't find the path. Can you help?
Isn't that the path? And points to the blue line.
It's been so long, I think I've forgotten.
Right.
But time doesn't seem to pass here at all.
Yes.
So
The good thing is we have a doctor. Dr. Mordek, perhaps you'd like to examine his brain.
Yes, I would. Absolutely, I would.
Sure. So you can advance forward. And what would you like to do?
Well, I have to calm myself. I'm getting excited. It's been a few months. Gonna grab into my tools and get to work.
Do you need me to hold him down, Mordek? I'm pretty strong.
Oh, is he still awake?
Good doctor, he's speaking to you.
Oh, well, this will hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What will hurt?
Well, I'm gonna and I pull out a drill and a saw. I'm gonna take the top of your head off if that's okay.
Can you help me?
I don't know. Let me open you up.
The blue light sort of shimmers and he begins to dim slightly.
Well, I better get to
Oh.
work. Can somebody pour vodka over my hands? I need to disinfect. Normally they're already dead.
I may have misread what your doctorate was in, Doctor. My apologies.
Yeah, it's ME, not MD.
Oh, yes. Lettering. I thought I'd be good at that. And then quickly, hastily look at the rest of the party. Anyone else with an insightful comment for the lost soul here about how we can move on rather than remove his skull and look at his living brain?
I was on my way to like hold him down from behind, so I would not be the one to add any
Right.
commentary.
Can we can see him from the path?
Mhm. He's
Can
just off to the side.
Can I like reach out and just say come with me, and maybe like we can bring him to the path and then like shoo him back home?
Sure. As soon as his feet touch the path, he disappears.
Well, I don't like that.
But yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen. Okay. Do you think he went back to wherever he was supposed to be?
I don't think anybody should sit down on this bench.
No benches. Got it.
That's a good idea.
So I'm not cutting the.
Yeah, he's gone.
Well, he's gone, yeah.
He's gone, Doctor. I'm sorry.
My
Sorry
tools
to
away.
disappoint you, Doctor. We'll have to find another willing victim.
I
mean,
also want to point out 4 clerics in this party, and none of us knew how to heal the guy, but whatever.
I'm a cleric of battle. I heal people by introducing them to their graves. It's cut out the middleman, you understand.
4 clerics walk into a formless void.
I know this joke, but
All right, so yep, go ahead, Garrett.
No, I was going to say there's no other sign. So as soon as he touches the path, he just disappears. The light recedes,
And you notice he smiles slightly.
Huh.
Oh.
Are we touching the path?
Yeah, you're
we're
on
on
the
the path.
Yeah, you're on the
path.
Okay.
Right.
Odd.
Well, my goblin friends, that's what happens when you walk off the path. So
Yeah.
we're going to stay on the path and continue on and find, I don't know, hopefully a cafe,
Sure.
possibly a bar.
The road continues onward. There's an eternity of darkness on either side of you. In the distance, you hear what sounds like thunder. There's swirling clouds of blackness, and even anyone who has dark vision can't see through it. You hear and feel a soft tinkling, and it sounds like rain against glass.
We
Quick
don't
question.
see any.
Yeah. Does this happen to you all the time? Because, first time I've been in a void going to nowhere, where my physical form will die in probably a couple of 100 years.
I'm like 9, and my life
Okay.
expectancy is like 13, 14. So no, this is
So you're the one that's going to go and touch the cloud ahead of us then, are you?
yeah. I can. That's kind of my whole thing.
Sure. Well, don't worry. We're all of a clerical nature. Should you die, we'll exhume your body and do interesting things with it. So trust us. Some of us are, spiritual in that way.
If I die with 4 clerics in the party, I don't feel like that's a failing on me.
That's definitely safe.
oh, I
It's a
love it
theological
when they
question.
get into philosophy.
Yeah, it's a more theological debate whether you've actually died or not. Go and touch that and find out.
All right. Being very convinced by the new guy, I head off.
As you step, make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh no, I'm not good at that.
and do so at disadvantage.
I'm very not good at that then. 7.
So as you're walking, it's like there's razor blades that are biting into your feet. It's almost like sharpened cubes in the shape of a triangle, or plastic bricks that you didn't see are biting at your feet. So you actually have your speed is halved.
I just yell back like, it sucks to walk over here.
You're going slowly, but keep going.
Eventually you can come out of it. It just sort of blocks part of the pathway. On the other side, just off to the side of the road, you see, you actually hear a scream.
Ah!
Do the
Somebody
then-
screamed at me.
hear it?
You don't hear it from your side of the cloud.
I just yell,
Only
somebody
Grizzlies.
screamed from me. Somebody screamed at me. Somebody get over here.
The goblin doesn't appear to have died. Because of science, I'm going to go next. If I die, sell my stuff off, and then follow the brave Grizzle.
Dexterity saving throw at disadvantage, please.
Sure, I'm awesome at that.
This is a dex-based party for sure.
Sure.
We
Well,
need
I'm
a
at -1, so that's good. That's a 5. Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, you also take you half speed.
Okay. So I'm currently traveling at 12.5 foot around. Excellent.
Wow. Yeah, if anybody who's walking through can do the same thing, dexterity saving throw with disadvantage. If you fail, your speed is halved. Though you do think that healing of any kind would negate the penalty.
I'd really hate to get an arrow in the knee about now, Gary, because that would half my speed even further.
7, what would that be? 6.25 feet around. It's 1 square. It makes me so happy. You dash, it's 2 squares. And now you all hear it. About every 10 seconds, you hear a scream, and then a pause, and then the exact same scream. You see something blue glowing up in the distance.
It's a backup siren.
Do we see anything?
Yeah, you see something just off to the side of the path, just like you did before. It's a blue figure sort of floating above the ground.
Like humanoid.
Humanoid, yeah.
sized?
Mhm.
Okay.
Grizzle, Garrick will approach, start moving forward, and I think grabbing Farkan. Farkan, you haven't made any appallingly bad choices so far. Would you like to break that cycle?
You can have inspiration for that, Garrick.
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
So we'll approach.
All right.
And screaming.
What you all see, or well, the two of you anyway, is a creature who's floating in the air. And there's a book which looks very similar to the one that you opened, the Void Rot Chronicles. He opens the book, which is ghostly, hovering in the air, and bathed in the blue light that you saw when the book was opened at first. He opens the book and then screams. And then it's almost like it resets and happens again. He stops screaming. He opens the book. He screams again.
Farkan, thoughts? I mean, maybe this is one of Flip's recipes. I do the same thing whenever I get a note from him. But what are your thoughts?
Is there like a scary picture on it, and he just like forgets what's in the book, and he just opens it, screams, and then closes it?
So, Farkan, you remember that the previous great reader of the plains opened this book 50 years ago and was trapped floating above the book until he died.
Yeah, so I guess they're in a loop until
Mm.
they die, I guess.
I
But
imagine
he's
it's a
here, like
cautionary
he's not
tale.
dead. How is he here?
Mm. No, I think you're right. It's probably a cautionary tale on buying cheap knockoff import books. So perhaps you can close the book for him.
Yeah, I guess we could. I'll just take the book from the guy that's screaming.
Mhm.
Keep it closed.
Okay. As soon as you close and hold the book, the figure disappears and stops
Oh,
screaming. And as the last scream echoes through the void, you notice that there's a large wall in the distance at the end of the path.
When I see Farkan close the book and like it just disappears and stuff, I just nudge the group that didn't walk forward. I'm like, you see, that's why we bring the elf. It solves problems. I guess start walking towards the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. The wall goes as far as you can see in opposite directions. Time seems to have no meaning here. So what seems like 10 seconds, then 10 hours, you're standing beside a large gate. Over the top of the gate, the walls are about 60 feet high, and they slope outward at a 5-degree angle. There are large razor-sharp talons at various places atop the wall defensively. Over the top of the gate, written in your birth language, actually, is written, "Abandon hope, all ye who enter here."
Well,
Oh,
that's
so it's a
encouraging.
school. Okay.
In each of our languages? What?
Yep. So, Grizzle, I'm assuming that Goblin was your first language, so you're reading it in Goblin. Mordek is reading it in Dwarvish, etc., etc.
Huh.
Well, that's spooky.
Cheerful. Yeah. Is there some place where we can is there a bell to ring? Is there some place we can knock?
No, it's just wide open.
Oh.
It's just so
okay.
it's like so I'm going to try and gesture with my hand. I don't know if you can see it. So it's sort of imagine that it's open like this, and then over top of it is written, "Abandon hope, all ye who enter here."
Got it.
Okay.
Oh, so there's a little tunnel in the hole. Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. The gate is like wide open. There's no doors even.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we can.
I have an ability to ask the question of the gods if this is a terrible idea to step through the doorway. I'm pretty sure they'll just laugh and tell me get on with it, which is the challenge.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I
So
would
you-
save that augury.
We know it's a bad idea. Yeah.
And we're adventurers, so bad ideas are what we do, what we follow.
There's really no other way to go.
Yes.
see, this is a great thing of having so many priests around here. We can just cut out the higher power and just make our own poor decisions.
Yep.
Amazing.
Mhm.
All right, so y'all are just gonna walk through the gate.
Now we're all gonna die.
Great.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Can we
Um,
send Grizzle first? I mean, goblins, short lifespans, medical research.
Hero.
Hero. Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Yes.
Thank
yes.
you.
Yes.
Off he goes.
behind the wall is a large dais. There are 3 figures seated upon them.
Oh,
Upon
no.
it. In front of them is a well, and they gesture all of you to move toward it.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Well, that sounds a terrible idea.
Yeah, no.
Mhm.
What do they look like?
They are vaguely humanoid, although not humanoid like any humanoid you've ever seen. It's almost like they're an amalgam of multiple humanoid races, like half-orc size, elven ears, tabaxi soft facial features, dwarven stoutness. It's almost as like they're presenting as multiple races combined into one.
Hey. Who are you?
When you speak to them, they gesture to the well again.
Look like a wishing well.
Would you like to go take a look at it? All right. On the outside of the well is written, I am the eater of all things, both alive and dead. I swallow person and beast, treasure and feast, and none hath the power to resist me. I slay kings and ruin towns, and none can defeat me. Who am I?
Garrick turns to his group. He's like, I knew there'd be time for a riddle.
And as soon as you say that, they answer your question, Grizzle. They say in unison, we are the Voyagers. Welcome.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up.
I think I know the answer to the riddle, but Grizzle definitely wouldn't. So I'm not gonna metagame that. But what was the name of the cult or the that guild you talked to, Shadows?
Oh,
The Free Fates, Fellows of Free Fates.
Oh, okay, so not the like Voyager related. Okay.
No.
Yeah, Grizzle stands there very confused and a little. Actually, I'm gonna chuck a gold coin into this well.
okay.
I'm just gonna flick
you-
it in.
Yeah, you flick a coin in, and it bounces off the side and bounces off the side and bounces off the side. You hear it bounce off the side all the way down. It basically never stops bouncing.
Oh.
Don't like that.
Don't worry, Grizzle. You'll get this riddle in time.
He's just sitting there, just like, trying to act very smart, surrounded by these like very smart friends of his.
Could I read the inscription on the well again?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I am the eater of all things, both alive and dead. I swallow person and beast, treasure and feast, and none hath the power to resist me. I ruin towns and slay kings, and none can defeat me. Who am I?
Time or decay would both
Mhm.
be the correct
That's what
answer.
I was thinking death. Yeah.
Wow, I totally did not get it right then.
Oh, that doesn't mean that we're right.
It wasn't even role playing Grizzle there. That's Blair.
So you notice, Thorond, as you mentioned time, that as soon as Garrick flippantly said the word time was when they started responding to you all.
Oh.
Hmm.
I guess that makes sense.
Because Grizzle spoke to them and they gestured to the well, and then Garrick said the word time and they answered his question.
Oh.
Yeah. Then Garrick holds up his classic answers to a 1001 riddles that the elder being, so to speak. It's always time. Always time. There always come up with time. Either that or onions. So you can ask the three beings of what your Ujima builds, what you need, and get on with your quest, Grizzle. Just don't attack them yet.
Oh, I'm the muscle and should not be in charge of the questioning of ancient time lords.
Well, I'm gonna open up to Shadows because I'm rather worried the Doctor's going to start, opening up their skulls, and it would be wonderful. Shadows, thoughts, questions, opportunities to get us out of this nether realm.
Shadows will step forward and speak clearly and enunciate properly.
Mm-hmm.
Time.
We are the Voyagers. How can we help you?
Oh, it's not a recording this time. Great. Okay. We're from outside the void, and we're trying to save the world.
They're nodding.
Okay. Um, there's Bashaba and Timora. Do you know them?
The gods have no sway in this place.
Okay. They've got some sway where we come from, and one of them wants to ruin everything. We're trying to prevent that. And there was a book that we have all put together, and it's the Codex Cosmologica. Have you heard of that?
They all look at each other,
Okay.
and they say, yes. The Codex Cosmologica was the tool that we created to seek out the gaps between planes, which allowed us to travel between very quickly. We were born at a time when such planar travel magic was beyond the realm of most magic users. But it did not follow us to this prison, and we have no knowledge of its whereabouts.
This is a prison? You can't leave?
What?
There is no escape. Time does not exist here, but you are yet trapped outside. We have searched forever and found nothing, and we lack the will to continue searching.
So you just gave up searching?
When you have sought an answer for all time,
What answer did you seek?
freedom,
From?
this place, it is
Oh.
everywhere,
Oh.
it is nowhere, it is a confluence of power that has no ability to affect the world around it, and yet we are trapped here, like you, inadvertently captured by our biography, and now, like you, we are lost to time.
Excuse me? We can't go home?
We have searched forever, and
But
we have...
The Blue Road.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the Blue Road, is there a gate?
We just came through it.
Yes. The gate from the Blue Road to this fortress, and he glances around. Do you see an exit to this prison? For I do not.
Like, if we look around, is that gate still there?
Yeah, the gate is absolutely still there.
Grizzle
Um,
jumps into the well.
oh God.
Grizzle.
Okay.
No.
We will
Let
we
Grizzle
will
be the
deal
hero.
we will deal with Grizzle after. I'm going to PM Grizzle.
Oh shit.
Yes, this is delightful. It was nice knowing you, Blair.
Grizzle, please use your best poker face.
I'm starting to think that we were correct in bringing our friend, the good doctor, Mordek, because these folks might need their heads examined.
Yeah.
Because there's a door.
He's not the droid you're looking for.
Just for the why would I do he just was panicking a bit of like there's no exit, there's no way out of here, and kind of existentially jumped in there.
Oh, Grizzle. You know, I had this moment when we were going on the blue path. You know, when like kids or like they string themselves together with rope so that no one falls or no one wanders off. I had that moment where I wanted us to all hold onto the rope or loop our waists together so that we couldn't like fall down the mountain or off the side of the path. And that probably would have been a really good idea for Grizzle.
So Grizzle is no longer with you all.
Whoops. Does your goblin normally do that?
First time for everything.
Okay. So we're in some sort of time warp then.
Yes.
It is a confluence of power everywhere and nowhere. Time has no meaning. An hour, a second, an aeon are all the same.
So if I took a jump to left, for example, that wouldn't have an effect.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
And then a step to the right.
That's the song we should have Gary sing for donating money tonight.
Yes.
We're $40 away from me singing a song. I would be happy to do it.
A pelvic thrust will drive you insane.
So they said, what is it about the Codex that you need to know?
We were told that we must find where the book was written, and then we could set things right.
They glanced at each other again in unison, and they said, we created the book in many different places. We studied the charts, we studied the cosmos, but the book itself was powered by the Well of Spells.
That thing that our goblin friend just jumped in?
And he glances down to it and he says, similar, but not the same. The Well of Spells is a cylinder of magic that appears throughout the land, though where or how is unknown. Useful to arcanists, it has various effects, but when we created it, we tossed it into the well, and it empowered the book.
Okay. Where'd you leave the well?
There is no static location. It appears at random. Finding it is difficult. And there is no rhyme or reason as to where it appears, or why, or when, or how long it will last.
How did you find it?
Much searching.
Can we recreate? There's a large amount of clerical knowledge in this room right now. I don't want to overwhelm you. Large amount here. Could we not theorize repeatedly and make it happen again? Because I'm a little bit worried about the goblin. We hadn't paid his warranty.
The Well of Spells does not appear in this prison, only in the lands from which we came.
So we get your traps, get that, and unless the good doctor wants to look inside your heads, we would like to leave this place, possibly find the goblin, and return back to our own realm.
He glances down. They glance all in unison. The goblin is in the well.
Yes, it's a book we're thinking about writing later on.
Where does the well go?
We have never been inside it.
Have you don't want to throw one of you in there to find out if we can get the goblin back?
No.
Okay.
Why is your welcome gate so unwelcoming?
We did not build it. He says we originally were from the same place as you. But over time, we learned and we traveled and we became different. The gaps between planes allowed us a freedom that no creature before us had possessed, and we craved it. Somehow, a creature, perhaps through one of the gaps, fell through. He traveled with us for a time, chronicling our journeys, but what we didn't know is the book he was writing itself was an artifact of great power. And in writing our story, he and we were bound into this prison, from which, as I've said, there is no escape.
Could you, by any chance, name the person you were thinking? Because Garrick remembers perfectly the name of the guy that wrote the book. Chris has not a Scooby-Doo.
Vareed al-Bashir.
Yes. Was it Vareed, by any chance, that was traveling with you chronicling this?
Yes.
Okay. get a better ghostwriter.
Did you say they were a monster?
A monster?
You said a monster fell in with you?
A human.
Oh, okay.
Same thing.
Hmm.
I was about to, that's very deep. Yep.
So yes, it appears the one that wrote the book has left it in a place called Candlekeep. We've come to travel. Well, they've come to travel. I'm literally here for a short while before going on to my next gig. So I'm going to cast Detect Magic, Gary, as well, just to see what I'm hoping the well is I don't know, a portal to another distance rather than instant death.
You're blinded by the various magical auras. It's a level of power. It's artifact level of magical power in all directions, in every surface and everything that you can see.
Okay. Magic. It's a kind of. Okay. So to return us back to our plane, you're not that much use, even though you're intergalactic travelers, and you need to get back to the book that's in our realm.
Our corporeal form has long since vanished,
Yes.
much like yours will when you are trapped here forever.
Gary, I'm going to try something a little bit interesting. I am going to try and use Ascending to see if I can get hold of our goblin friend Grizzle.
What does it do?
Ascending allows me to transcend the planes and send him a 25.
I'm going to say yes, you can.
I'm going to attempt to find if Grizzle is alive and well. Do you have any code words you'd like to use or any phrases? I've got 25 words I can use. Any message you'd like to impart to me rather than, are you alive? Anyone at all?
What's it like where you are now?
I can see why you're the war cleric. Farkan, come on, Farkan. We 2 for 2. You solved the first riddle. The goblins failed horribly.
I guess just to know it's him, ask him, do you want to go to the tavern later? Just make sure if he answers that he's alive,
Okay, sure. Will that not seem like I'm hitting on him, though, which might be inappropriate?
No, I assume he would know it's from me because we're drinking buddies over at the tavern back in Trollheart Barrow, so it's fine.
Okay. I'm going to go to Shadows and the Doctor. Doctor, what else should I be asking of your goblin if he's still alive?
If he's still alive, that's a very good question. We should check to see if he has any brain function. So ask him his name, when he was born, and if he has any headaches, nausea, or blurred vision. And let me know if he does have any of those.
Marvelous. Shadows, bring this home for me. What are we going to ask the goblin about where the heck he is?
What does he see? If you find him, what did he see down there?
Okay. And I just want to check something. You've been entrusted to save the world, you lot. There's not another group.
The 18 got sadly disintegrated.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. And Garrick sits down, meditates, and then out through his spiritual way. Hello, Garrick. Fancy a beer? Are you alive? And do you have headaches? What can you see? There. Reply.
So is this a two-way spell?
Yep.
What? It's
Yep.
not like it's not like message. Okay.
No.
Nope, sending.
So I can only send 25 back.
Yep.
Okay. Um, in the room with the book, jump in the well, you idiots.
Inspiration for Blair if you don't already have it.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna jump right in. I trust my friend Grizzle. I'm going right in.
Yeah. Sure. So Garrick relays that and says, sadly, Doctor, I don't think you can experiment on him quite yet.
All right, I guess we're jumping in.
To the three trans-universal things. We'll be back probably never. Lovely meeting you. Anything you'd like to impart about saving the universe before we go? Anything at all?
We are disconnected from your world. We can impart you no wisdom. Whether your world lives or dies makes no difference to us.
You are senior management. That
They're
answered that
upper
question.
management, yeah.
Yep, that's it. Is there any other pieces you'd like to impart to us that would help these people on their further quest?
We have provided all of the information that we believe would be relevant to your future quests.
Swords, magic spears, shields, I don't know, magical artifacts.
They glance around independently this time for the first time. We're in a void prison.
But you don't have to be.
Our bodies have long since disintegrated. We exist only here.
I'm scared, Dave.
Well, bye then. Enjoy eternity and then jump into the well.
Is everybody going to jump into the well?
Yes. I'll
All right.
jump into the well.
So all of you jump into the well, and you see Grizzle looking over you. He's trying to push the book closed. He's knocking on your legs, very concerned about all of you. And as you jump into the well, the book slams shut. But what all of you notice, Grizzle, you in particular, you feel a little achy, a little more sore than you might expect. It's almost like each of you has aged a year.
I don't like that. Okay. Well, first of all, welcome back. Yeah, it was just the well. It was like a thing. You just had to be in the moment and like get out of there, guys. So, thanks for joining me. I tried closing the book and stuff. I tried like shaking your legs. That didn't work. But I'm glad you jumped in the well.
I never would have guessed. Like, why don't they just jump in the well and leave?
They pointed at it. It was the only thing there. I don't know. It seems really
That's very weird.
kind of a bit of martyrdom there for those guys.
They did point out that their bodies had died quite some time ago, and
Yeah.
I'm guessing, hanging around talking about time beats dying. Anyway, this has been great. We've some of us are older. I feel we're wiser as well.
Hopefully.
Well, I mean, I'm an elf, so I mean, a year's not really much to me. So
A year is so much to me. Like a quarter of my life has just been erased.
oh.
But think of the fun you're having.
Yeah. Farkan, I can see you're the sensitive one in the group by saying statements like that. So, Grizzle's like literally, a couple of years away from impending death. So,
So you've managed to obtain the information about the Codex Cosmologica and where it was powered. But now all you have to do is take it to the Well of Spells, which has no set location, but appears with an unknowing purpose randomly across all the world. Pretty easy, right?
Cool.
Yeah. Piece of cake.
Easy peasy.
We are in the one building that has most of the information on this planet. and maybe other planets, and I feel like they might owe us something for, like, checking out that book.
Yeah, probably.
I'm also worried that they
Left us down here for like a year.
for a year, yeah. Like, I'm afraid to walk out of this room and then be like, oh shit, you guys are still there.
But they check back on us, so
Yeah, they didn't say when though.
that's
Remember, they're
Yeah,
monks.
that's true.
They live there, you know.
And that is where we are going to end tonight's adventure.
Yeah.
Well,
I want to
Yeah.
go pet the shadow dragon.
No, it's okay. So Garrick's really happy because Flip was paying him per day.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
Nicely done.
Unfortunately, that was not in writing.
Oh, wow.
yeah, that's Flip.
Typical
Broke up there, Flip.
Come on, Flip.
So thank you everybody for playing. Thank you to our incredible players for such a wonderful game. And I noticed that we hit $250, which means I have to sing a song, which is the Time Warp. I don't even know how it goes.
A classic.
That's a good one.
It's just a jump to the left and then a step to the right with your hands on your hips. You bring your knees in tight, but it's the pelvic thrust that really drives you insane. Let's do the time warp again. Let's do the time warp again. And that's all you're getting because I don't really know how the song goes. But thank you everybody for joining us as always. With our total tonight, with everything we've done, we have, since last September, which was our first game during our first Duchenne Awareness Month, the first Squad Up Community Day, we have raised more than $24,000 for Duchenne muscular dystrophy research. And obviously, you've seen our schedule. We're not stopping. This incredible group has 2 more episodes, and they can sit before they can rest because there's a world that needs to be saved. Thank you all for joining us. Why don't you sign out and tell us where everybody can find you? Ed, why don't we start with you?
Ah, dear. Okay. I am at the Edverse on Twitter. That's the only reliable place to find me. And I post doggerel, ditties, stuff about Athcliath, and I answer Realms lore questions. So if you have any questions whatsoever about the Forgotten Realms, try and stump me. Everybody else does. Why should you leave it all to the WotC designers?
Amy.
You can find me on most of the socials at LADYDZRA. I talk about my dog a lot. You'll hear me grumbling about moving real soon. And no, that's actually mostly just dogs. So
Emma?
You can find me on the Twitters on the Emma Wakeland, and hey, hit me up. Let's chat.
Blair.
Always a pleasure to play with these people. You can follow me on Twitter, but follow these other people. I just retweet my wife, so it's nothing really special. But Gary, I will say your homework after that performance, before the next session, it would be to watch the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I thought
like
somebody was going
you
to
owe
make
it to
me.
yourself on that one.
Okay. All right.
I'll loan you fishnets. I'll even take the fish out of them first.
Make a note.
Gross.
we have a group watch.
I'm still waiting for Velocipaster. Don't start with me, Amy.
That's true.
Eric.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at EricDMD246. Also, catch me on Twitch, EricDMD Gaming. I'm playing like Overwatch, Battlefront, Call of Duty, basically whatever I have on my computer or PS5. I just figure out how to stream it. And thank you everybody for donating as well. This was a really fun quest, I have to say, for sure.
Last but not least, D20.
I thought it was least and completely least, Gary. How strange. I just want to thank you for running this wonderful game and everybody in chat that's donated to this wonderful group of people. It was so much fun to come and try to get you all killed. But sadly, Gary didn't let me do that. So my apologies for not murdering you in strange and obscure ways. Keep doing the wonderful work on this amazing charity. So thank you, everyone. That's you, Gary.
So my name's Gary. You can find me on social media at fortnerd.com, DOTCOM. I run a podcast. I have a website. I do a whole bunch of stuff online with a couple of these wonderful folks. We do Cyberpunk Independence every Sunday. I would encourage you to check that out. I also have to note that I'm trying to figure out who donated the most money today. It might be me, but no, Hawkmere. Hawkmere wins the Talon and Claw Dice Vault because he needed more of them. He only has 25. So the next time you will see us is the 28th of August. We are here the last Saturday of every month. We have 2 more episodes before we finish this amazing series with these incredible people. Thank you all so much. You make it so much fun. And I always speak for everybody when I say thank you for donating. Thank you for watching. And we really appreciate it. Have a great night.
Have fun storming the castle.